Ball pythons, Python regius, also known as royal pythons, are medium-sized snakes that typically reach lengths of 3 to 5 feet (0.9 to 1.5 meters) when fully grown. However, some individuals may grow slightly larger, reaching lengths of up to 6 feet (1.8 meters). But this is relatively rare. Juvenile ball pythons start out much smaller, usually around 10 to 16 inches (25 to 41 centimeters) in length when they hatch. As they grow, they require appropriately sized enclosures and care to accommodate their increasing size. Python reproduction differs significantly from that of other animals, especially considering there are various species of animals commonly referred to as pythons. Let's compare the reproductive methods of pythons with those of other animals. Python snakes. 1. Pythons reproduce sexually. They engage in courtship rituals, which involve various behaviors such as rubbing, wrapping, and even combat between males. Copulation occurs through the insertion of the male's hemipenes into the female's cloaca. Female pythons lay eggs, usually in a clutch, which they incubate by coiling around them to keep them warm until they hatch. After hatching, the young snakes are independent and receive no further parental care. Mammals. 2. Mammals reproduce sexually. Most mammals give birth to live young after a gestation period during which the embryo develops inside the mother's uterus. The offspring are typically cared for by the mother, at least during the early stages of their life. Some species also receive care from the father or other members of the social group. Birds. 3. Birds reproduce sexually. Most birds lay eggs, which are then incubated by one or both parents until they hatch. After hatching, the parents typically provide food and protection for their offspring until they are able to fend for themselves. Reptiles other than pythons. 4. Reproductive methods can vary widely among reptiles. Some reptiles, like turtles and crocodiles, lay eggs which are then incubated either by the parent or by environmental conditions. Others, like some species of lizards and snakes, give birth to live young after internal incubation, similar to mammals. In summary, while pythons reproduce through sexual reproduction, laying eggs that they incubate until hatching, other animals such as mammals and birds have different reproductive strategies, including live birth and egg laying with varying levels of parental care. Ball pythons. Python regius and other python species can have some differences in their heating requirements due to variations in their natural habitats, size, and behavior. Here's a general comparison of heating differences between ball pythons and other pythons. Temperature range. 1. Ball pythons. Originating from the savannas and grasslands of West Africa, ball pythons prefer temperatures ranging from 78 F to 82 F, 25.5 C to 27.8 C on the cool side and 88 F to 92 F, 31.1 C to 33.3 C on the warm side. Other pythons, e.g., Burmese pythons, reticulated pythons, other python species like Burmese and reticulated pythons, which inhabit more tropical environments, may prefer slightly higher temperatures, often ranging from 80 F to 85 F, 26.7 C to 29.4 C on the cool side and 88 F to 95 F, 31.1 C to 35 C on the warm side. Heating sources. 2. Both ball pythons and other python species require heating sources such as under-tank heaters, heat lamps, or ceramic heat emitters to provide warmth. For ball pythons, using AUTH on one side of the enclosure is commonly recommended to create a thermal gradient, allowing the snake to thermoregulate by moving between warmer and cooler areas. Other python species may require more powerful heating sources, especially larger species like reticulated pythons, which may need larger heat sources or multiple heat sources to adequately heat their enclosures. Enclosure size and heating requirements. 3. Larger python species typically require larger enclosures and more substantial heating equipment due to their size and higher metabolic rates. For instance, reticulated pythons can grow to be much larger than ball pythons, necessitating larger enclosures with more powerful heating systems to maintain appropriate temperatures. Ball pythons, being smaller in size, may require smaller heating elements, and enclosures compared to larger python species. Behavioral differences. 4. Ball pythons are often considered more sedentary and may spend more time in hiding spots or burrowing in substrate, whereas larger python species, like reticulated pythons, may be more active and require more space to move around.